C. Try a couple on your own. I'm going to see what we got. I'm going to do a couple that you can watch, and then we'll look at the book. So pick a side. You don't have to stay together. Double dragons leap from C.
Leap from C?
Leap from C.
I couldn't hear, I was wondering.
Double dragons leap from C. Posture number 5.
Yeah, and I knew what it was, I just couldn't remember, I didn't hear the end of it, so I didn't know exactly what it was called.
Double dragons leap from C. Same thing at home. If you're at home, just try a few on your own. And then hopefully after I do some and we read from CK2, you'll have some stuff to edit. Right? I know that feeling.
So I didn't do it on the other side.
All right, team. Okay. I'm going to do some, hopefully they're right, because I don't have the mirrors where I can go, oh. All right, so and I'm going to do a side view so that if people are home, they can see, hopefully. And then if I'm doing it wrong, you won't see that. You'll just like, la, 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 it looks fine. I mean, yes, I know how to do it, but sometimes even like, I think you'll find that what your body tells you you're doing versus what is actually happening is not always the same. And since I've had so many surgeries on this side, what I think might be level pelvis might not actually be that at all. So I am telling my body to do it correctly. I don't know if it'll 100% translate. So first thing, I'm going to start with the feet parallel. Step forward. Try not to step in a tightrope. So from your shoulder width apart, step forward, and then there's that stretch. Yeah. Hopefully, a level circle. And down. There's a couple things I hope you notice that we'll talk about in a second compared with the book. Feel free to change your position. You can walk around. 3D. Switch sides.
I think that the groans on the stretch are optional.
I was groaning on the inside. This is my groan side. This hip is not happy. Now, one of the things that I hope you notice is that when first of all, I'm not shifting and moving forward and backwards all that much. It's a minimal pelvis move. I'm shifting substantial to insubstantial between the front and the back leg, so that's happening. But it isn't this huge, big geographical shift. The other thing is, I'm not here. I'm centered. My hips are here. This is my circle. It gets commonly misconstrued that it's here, and then there's a twist, and there's not. It's down. Back leg does the work, substantial. Push off from the back leg. Front leg becomes substantial. Push. So yes, my body is changing, but my pelvis isn't moving all that much. You see that? All right, so let me get the book out. And we'll read what Grandmaster has to say. Double dragons. Okay. I'm going to look for the greatest hits. Weight distribution should be about 70% on the front foot and 30% on the back foot. concentrated on the heels and outer edges of the feet. Feel free to do them as you, and I'm going to read through this, but just go ahead and do the posture so you're not like hanging out disproportionately in one strange body position. Let's see. Maintain a tucked in pelvis. Your breathing should be relaxed, continuous, and deep. Locating a point about 2 inches below the navel, push the body backwards with your fingers, gradually shifting the weight towards the back leg as you bend the torso forward and down. So that's kind of where that stretch happens, is he's feeling his center retreating. So that's, whether you put your fingers there or not, that's the part of the body that's moving backwards, is your center. Yes, Mr. Watkins. Yes, yes. Exhale deeply while sinking back. Continue with deep breathing. And then that's how he gets into his stretch. So he gets here and then he pushes his center back. And then he folds down further into a stretch. So that's just an added little focus point that you can think about. So you're going to push out on the bent knee and pull forward on the front knee. Caution, bending the knee inward or towards the center of the body can be harmful. So that means as you're down here, this, not good. Don't do that. Make sure this stays out. Does that make sense? Knee patrol, oh my gosh, don't do that. Yeah, and he's saying avoid the tendency to literally shift your pelvis towards the back leg. So your pelvis stays in this track, straight, front to back. It doesn't, as you come down, it doesn't shift towards the back leg. It stays centered and then up. So that's the tricky part about this one, is the pelvis naturally wants to gravitate towards that back leg. And then the other thing is, I don't know if I'm sure he's going to mention it, is tabletop. So it's real common to have one side up or down, and it really should be flat. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to keep reading through this and then do a few, and then I'm going to come around and make a couple of adjustments as I see this so that you can feel it. So there's a stretch. With the chest concave, so now you're at the bottom of your stretch, held in a rounded shape and the fingers slightly stretched, slowly push forward off the heel of the back leg. Inhale deeply while you shift forward. Maintain your tucked pelvis. Continue shifting forward until the right knee is over the toe and the left leg is almost straight, with the rounded arms and hands extending as you complete your inhale. Fingers should be stretched. Then to come back, slowly shift the pelvis backwards while bending the torso forward and downward until about 70% of the weight is on the back of the leg again. Try to fold the body below the navel. Exhale during this movement. So then basically it just repeats. Once you get comfortable with this, you can do these fast. So you do some slow, and then you do some quickly. So just practice a few on your own, and I'm going to come around and make some as socially distant as possible corrections so that you can feel the difference. Oh, here, Mr. Kane. Oh, do it again. First of all, you're a little bit narrow, so step a little bit wider. And then when you go down for your stretch, face your pelvis towards me. There you go. Like don't angle it like a straddle. It's towards the front of the room. And then, may I?
Sure.
This hip needs to come up, this hip needs to come down. There you go. So that's level.
Okay.
And your knee looks good. And then from there, circle towards the front. There it is. And then come up. Straight forward towards me. Down. Check. Yep, good correction. A little bit down on this hip, a little bit up on this one.
I really can't feel that.
I'm going to twist it. There you go. There you go.
I can feel it right here.
There it is.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah, we find with these alignments, our bodies will naturally gravitate towards where they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Like where, where it's accommodating for tight muscles and things like that. And this is opening all this stuff. So when you make an adjustment like that, it's really common to go, hey. And so just kind of work within that parameter, knowing that that tightness is an invitation to kind of learn to relax that and open up.
Means I'm getting it right.
It is. You're getting it right. And then from here, we go to the top again. shift forward a little more, so if you can, straighten this leg a little bit more. There you go. And then up. Good. Good. I don't want you to hurt your lower back. That's. And then fold down. And set this one down a little bit. And this, there you go. There you go. It's twist. It's kind of it's a hard one to communicate. There you go. Good. And then try to keep that shape with your hips, even as you move up and down. Looks really good. You may be a little wide and a little long. There you go. And maybe even just go just a tiny bit more. Yeah, try that. And then if you can, straighten that back leg a little more, so that when you're here, try not to be like here, like straight. And then you are doing a little bit of that diagonal shift, just a tiny bit. So hips forward towards me, and then forward, and then back. Very good, very good, very good. Now go ahead and go through the movement. I'll come to you in just a second, Mr. Loomis.
Oh, that's fine. Take your time.
Let me check. Okay, keep going. Hold here. This is very good. Just gonna lower towards the floor. There we go. Good. Very good.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's flat pelvis. Right? I know, it's like, this is.
Okay.
You feel it? Yeah. But you're letting your knee collapse in just a tiny bit. There you go. So just, knee. I know. And then, there you go. And it's still up again. But you felt it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I say, if you can't find a mirror at home or have a buddy that can kind of help you with that, and just think tabletop. So you want like, the sash is nice because you can see if, you've got one side elevated. And by the way, everybody does. So do not feel bad like, oh, my pelvis is twisted. Everyone's is in some regard. I mean, we are not symmetrical beings. So we've got one tight side and one other stuff. So totally normal, but this is a great way to learn and experience how to adjust that. All right, let me check you out. Check out the. Okay, your hips look good, but there's torso. But the hips are pretty square. Good.
I was overcompensating. Yeah, because I was going to happen before.
You shifted when you go back, you do shift a little bit that way. So just there it is. Yeah. Good.
When I do that, I do feel a little off balance.
You feel more balance?
Off.
Off balance?
I'm not sure, maybe my stance is off or.
So do it again, and when you start to feel off balance, make a natural foot adjustment and see if that fixes it. Yep, that's exactly what I would have said. And then now you've started to drift towards the back leg, so center again. Your back toes might be able to go out just a tiny bit more. Like, split the difference, a little bit more in between. There you go, try that. You feel it's off balance?
Not bad.
Good. So between those two adjustments, that was correct. You widened it a little bit, and then that's the other thing. Like, if your toes, about 45-degree angle, but if they're a little bit too far in, you will find. I'm not in frame. You will find that you are off balance. So even if my double dragon's foot placement is correct, if this toe is too far in, I'm off balance. So you can see, I don't know if you noticed, that's too far in for double dragon. That's not 45 degrees. That's pretty far in. So correct that. Now I automatically feel more rooted, okay? More balanced. So, and then if you're tight ropey, that too will feel off. So you'll feel it like, this just isn't right. I can't, my hip is twisted. I can't untwist it. My knee. So check this, and then maybe adjust this so that I can sink back, my center is back, my pelvis is straight, like make those adjustments. Then when you come up here, that is your Tai Chi double dragon's foot placement. So this is a Nei Kung exercise, but how many times do you hear us say double dragon's feet in the form? All the time. this is it. So this is the opportunity to find where that is for you and learn to lock in this sensation. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Any questions for me? No? This one's a really subtle one because you think, oh, I'm just doing these things. Well, then are you at an angle? Are you this way? Is your pelvis twisted? Or, you know, is your foot at the right angle? There's a lot to think about, but it's really, they're all excellent postures, but this one is extremely helpful for you to learn how to evaluate where your body is in space, as well as improve your form because we use this position so much. Alrighty, so good improvement. So let's go ahead and bow out. The path of self-mastery requires balanced emotions. Balanced emotions do not yield to negativity. Anybody need a refresher on the movements for this one? We good? We good? All right. Path of self-mastery requires balanced emotions. Balanced emotions do not yield to negativity. The path of self-mastery requires balanced emotions. Balanced emotions do not yield to negativity. You've ever seen Kill Bill Volume 2? Yeah. But yeah, it's like people's like, what do you do with that? Well,
Lots of movie, lots of movie.
Totally way to be done.
huh?
Totally way to be done.
Yeah. It's either a grab or it can also be a temple strike. So. All right.
Bow to head instructor.
Bow to intermediate level students. Students at home, black SAS training dismissed. Good job, everybody.